Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Shane Guilford, and you've joined us for round 9 of the NASCAR League 2024. And tonight's racing coming to you live from Watkins Glen in the States. And we love this track. Such a great sweeping circuit, fast bends, and the racing will be very, very tight indeed tonight, as we can see in the quali times and the practice times that we've had already earlier this evening. As you know, we'd like to introduce the circuit. It's Watkins Glen International, and it's 2.545 miles around this circuit. Tonight we'll have 3 races, 17 laps, 22 laps or 21 laps, and 35 laps. Round 9 of the championship. Let's have a look at the standings as they are before we get in the racing. It's Bruno Kalev from Argentina, who's been absolutely dominating this league so far, and he's taken the lead from Vlad Tokarev a couple of rounds ago and has stayed up there. Showed dominance last round at Darlington as well, taking that round win ahead of Antonis Papanopoulos. So Bruno up on top, Vlad in second from Russia, Alexei Savelyev also from Russia, your top 3, no movements there. But Matthew Perry moving up from New Zealand ahead of Hang-Jan Stenica from the Netherlands, who's with us tonight. And he'll be keen to reverse that position after tonight's round. Scott Flack, after a couple of strong rounds, remains the same in P6. Alexander Meshkov moving up with a strong effort at Darlington, moving up to P7. Also Laszlo Teglas from Hungary moving up into P8. Troy Cieslawski and Ollie from Finland moving down a spot. All right, back on track. We are in quali. And we have Bruno Kalev on screen coming through pit lane. He'll be coming for a fresh set of rubber before he goes back out. Vlad Tokarev, his closest rival. These guys have been so close all year long, and it won't be any different tonight. You watch this between the Argentinian and the Russian. Scott Flack, the guy flying the Aussie flag for the Australian League, he's in the mellow yellow 46. Very strong the last couple of rounds. Hang-Jan Stenica, the Dutchman, he's currently in P4. He'll be happy with that. And Eric Chandra from Indonesia, not on a flyer at the moment, but he'll definitely be getting up a couple of spots before the end of quali in 3 minutes time. Matthew Parry, the Kiwi, 4th in the championship. He's currently 7th on the grid so far. And we welcome Harrison Tebb back from a bit of a hiatus. He's back with us tonight. He could actually make it. Very busy with his real life racing. Working for his team for the TA2 here in Australia. Similar to the NASCAR. So he's already up to speed. Ahead of Laszlo Teglas, the Hungarian. Oh, just getting loose on the entry to the bus stop or the chicane. Spins in fashion. All right, Troy Cieslawski from Queensland. Loves the number 3. Just coming late to the practice session. So he's still really practicing through the qualifier session here at Watkins. And then we've got Alexander Meshkov, who's bound. Watch this one. He's on his 2 PBs. As he crosses the line, we should see him move a couple of spots up from P11. He stays. No, he moves up into the top 10. Still a few seconds off the lead runners. So with just under 2 minutes to go, it's still Bruno Kalev out in front. This is a private qualifier session, so the boys cannot see each other out there as to not balk each other through qualifier session. We know from other motorsport codes that it's bit of a ploy to upset your flying lap from your competitors, whether it's from your teammate or helping out yourself, distracting a fast runner on his qualifying. Oh, Bruno just missing the wall there. Goes from a 105.3. Does not improve on that one. That was a bit slow, that one. Very tricky, Watkins Glen's turn 1 and 2. It's very easy to go wide over the ripple, and then trying to rejoin, you need to find some space because there won't be anyone friendly to let you in. So you might get hung out to dry tonight being the championship leader, but he'll try not to put himself in that situation. Coming through the chicane now. We'll go for a hot lap with him. On board with Bruno Kalev now. Coming out of the sweeper, down the back straight. Full speed. He's going to be dropping a couple of gears to get it to turn in. He can run wide over the ripple and rejoin the track. Then he's got to settle it in, get the car to rotate in, and then let it run out to the wall full speed, full gas. Up the slight rise towards the start finish line. You can see the guy with the flag up on the flag, up on the starting position. Literally getting it loose coming into turn 1. Staying wide. He's got to hit this nice. This is a great section of Watkins. Up the hill, just full speed. The boys will be all together through here. They'll be jostling, tucking in for the draft as we see the checkered flag drop on the qualifier session. This will be his last lap. Coming in early for the bus stop. Just getting the points which he's hit all, each one. The entry, the middle, and the exit very nicely. Then it's a long sweeper downhill, running wide over the ripple strips. If you're running a direct drive, you'll definitely be feeling that through the wheel. Straight line braking, couple of gears, maybe one for Bruno. There's a second gear there. Just got to bring it in, settle it down, turn in right, slow it down. The corners are all cambered here. Oh, and he's just touched the wall on the exit. That'll nullify that lap. And he was on a fly, so he's pulled it up just before the checkered, but he remains on pole ahead of Vlad Tokarev. And then Scott Flack. So the boys are still out there. Vlad's out there, but no, he's pulled it up. Who else have we got out there? Eric Chandra. Chandra goes from 7 and stays 7. And that is the last of the qualifiers. So that is your standings thus far. It's let's see if we can bring that up for you guys at home. Qualifier, it's Bruno Kalev out in front ahead of Vlad Tokarev in P2. Then it'll be Scott Flack. Braden Pritchard we didn't get to check out during the qualifier session, but he's solid effort to qualify in P4. Hank-Jan Stanica will start from P5. Matthew Parry will be in 6. Then it's Eric Chandra from Indonesia and Harrison Tebb starting in P8. Then it's Laszlo de Glass and Alexander Meshkov in 10, and Troy Jaslowski will be starting from P11. Okay, we'll go to a commercial break. Be right with you after these quick messages.
Baba, what are we playing?
Ya lo sabéis, it's Halo Day.
Yeah, one sec.
He's playing football, isn't he?
Chachajo, you know he fancies himself a footballer.
Oh, whatever. Look, your love makes me strong, but your hate makes me invincible. All right, let's get on Halo then.
Let's go.
Ready.
Dale.
You got my back this time, right?
Chill, chaval. I won't ghost you this time.
I'm going hallway.
I got right.
Uno fuera.
Oh, another one down. Lock in. Next kill wins it.
Where is he? No lo veo.
Alicia, do you hear that?
Quick on him, top left.
Bet.
push it. He's one shot.
Game over.
Got him.
Well played.
Same time tomorrow then.
We'll see.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, nos vemos.
Okay, welcome back. We're about to get the race started for race 1. Guys will be leaving pit lane. It's a rolling start. The pace car has rolled out of pit lane. They are on their way. While they do that, we show you the starting order for race 1. P1 will be Bruno Kalev, the Argentinian, then Vlad Tokarev, Scott Flack, and Braden Pritchard, the 2 Aussies on the second row. Third row will be Hang-On Stanica from the Netherlands, next to Matthew Parry from New Zealand. And just to let you guys know, this is exactly where they're racing from. They are not all racing in Australia. They are all racing from these separate countries. Laszlo Teglas in P9, Alexander Mezhkov in 10. And we also had Eric Chandra from Indonesia, Harrison Tebb from Australia in 7 and 8. So very exciting times. A rolling start. It's a nice wide circuit, very sweeping corners. It's going to be a drag race for the first 3 corners, the most exciting part of the race, and we cannot wait. Who's your money on? Let us know. We're about to get into race 1. Bruno Kalev, championship winner, leading from pole, chooses the outside lane, leaving Vlad Tokarev on the inside lane. Interesting choice. Travelling at 100 k's behind the pace car. Now it's up to them to cross the start-finish line. Off they go. Bruno Kalev gets the jump. Vlad Tokarev right behind him. Braden Pritchard wants to tuck in. Bruno wants to come over and block Vlad's start, but he's got the better run around the outside. Scott Flack running around the outside, getting the position done on Vlad Tokarev, and Braden slots into P4. Then as Hang-On Stanica, looks like Matthew Parry or Eric Chandra. It's Eric Chandra gets a job on Parry. Sweeping out, hitting the wall. Braden Pritchard coming in at the bus stop now. It's Bruno Kalev, then Scott Flack, a bit of a gap. Let's see how the rest of the pack goes. Stanica just running wide there. Off track, he's not going to get much grip on the grass there. He's losing a spot. Eric Chandra as he comes round. Harrison Tebb coming up behind, just wants to settle in. So Bruno got a bit of a lead now, just under a second. Scott Flack trying to close in as early as he can. Doesn't want to lose touch with Bruno Kalev. This is an absolute sprint down the main straight, first lap. And it's exciting stuff. A couple of position changes already. Eric Chandra, one of the biggest climbers, already up into P5, up 2 spots. Hang-On Stanica just running wide there. On board now with Vlad Tokarev, looking at the back of Scott Flack, coming into the chicane or the bus stop. Nice and tight through here. You don't want to sweep too much like Scott Flack just did. Vlad's going to go around the outside. Scott Flack on the inside now. Oh, it's a drag race. Too wide around the bend. Braden Pritchard trying to capitalise on one of those positions. Oh, he's going to get the elbows out. Just clipped the back of Scott Flack there. On board with Braden Pritchard. Oh, he's late on the brakes, Braden Pritchard. Can he get the inside run? Yes, he can. He's got Scott Flack on the outside. Vlad Tokarev just ahead. Taps him once again. full speed up the hill through the sweeping. It just clips that wall once again. Oh, and he's got Eric Chandler right behind him through the chicane. This is how it's done. Looks like we've got Laszlo to Glass under pressure from Harrison Tebb. Matthew Parry just ahead of them. Stun his sweep out now. Kalev out in front, over 2 seconds ahead. So Harrison putting pressure on to Glass now. Kenny tuck in the wind. Laszlo's coming on the inside, just protecting that line, coming back out for the braking zone, but locks up slightly. Harrison Tebb's going to get on the gas nice and early. Laszlo's gone wide and didn't lose any position. It's a drag race up the hill now. Harrison Tebb chasing down Laszlo to Glass. We've got Pritchard and Chandra out on track as well, further up in P4. Tebb trying everything he can. He's getting that car loose. Laszlo nice and smooth through there. Bit of a love tap coming into the bend at the back stretch. Parry going shallow, so too these two. And it's a drag race again. Oh, Harrison just backing off a bit earlier. Wants to get the front end in so we can get on the gas. Oh, back in a couple of gears. Got to get the front to bite in these cambered corners. Really helping him, throwing it around. Kalev collecting the fastest lap of the race so far. Bit of a gap now for Bruno Kalev. Vlad Tokarev's got no answer for Bruno at the moment. And it's Scott Black settling in a P3 because Braden Pritchard's kept company from Eric Chandra, but he's managed to get a bit of a gap away from the Indonesian. And Hangyan Steneker's up there trying to follow as well. All in line, trying to race around this corner. To Glass and Tebb still together. Further back in P8, P9. Meshkov is 2 laps down. Not too sure what happened to Meshkov there. Might have missed the start or had an incident, but he's 2 laps down. Boys are starting to spread out now. I thought the racing would be a bit tighter than this. The closest one is here, Braden Pritchard with Eric Chandra, and that's Hangyan Steneker coming up, chasing these boys out in front. Probably looking a bit more speedy through race pace, as Hangyan Steneker didn't qualify that well. We're on board now with Hangyan Steneker from the Netherlands, chasing down Eric Chandra right in front in the Captain America livery. So Steneker just choosing to roll out through that section. Nice and easy, gets a nice line out, full gas against the wall. Beautiful line there. Chandra may have touched the wall a little bit, lost a bit of time. Oh, Chandra just going wide there now. Just losing the rears. Running all up 7 of 17. Got 3 races tonight. 17 laps, 22 laps, and 35 laps. That last race will probably include a pit stop, nonetheless. Whether it's for tyres and fuel, we are yet to see. So Chandra now defending against the Dutchman in P5. They're all spacing out now. Scott Flack out in front. Looks like Pritchard will come under fire from Chandra and Steneker together as he's starting to get loose. His last lap was a 107.9, and the guys behind were in the mid 107, so he's given half a second away just on that last lap alone, and now you can see the gap. Chandra just getting wide there. Did he go off? Almost went wide. Just watching Chandra coming down into turn 1. You can see he brings in too much speed, gets it wide. Oh yeah, he just over-corrected. Got spun out to the side. And it's Steneker taking that position from Eric Chandra. And that's given Braden Pritchard a bit of breathing room out in front. And that was the position change for P5. So out in front, it's Bruno Kalev on lap 8, halfway through, just over. We're on lap 9. Someone is in the pits already. Trying to see who that was. That's Bruno, and that's Vlad Tokarev. Reducing that gap just over 2 seconds now, hovering around that area. And then it's Scott Flack further back. Are they carrying too much fuel for the start of the race? He's in P3. Braden Pritchard now with some clean air in P4. But hang on, Seneca's closing that gap. And Chandra's coming along for the ride as well. So Matthew Parry in a pit lane as well. And he's coming for fuel or tyres, one of the two. Something's gone wrong with the Parry machine. He should be coming back out pretty soon. Harrison Tebbett would have been. So are we going to see pit stops on the opening race of the night? It's not meant to be inducing a pit stop, but anything can happen here. This track very punishing on the lateral temps on the tyres, being high-speed turns. These guys are on the gas pretty much 80% of the lap. So I think Parry moves out of pit lane now. Scott Flack in P3. Braden Pritchard, hang on, Steneker close behind Braden Pritchard, chasing him down. The gap just over a second now. So too Chandra, just a further second behind. But if Pritchard keeps hitting those walls, he's going to come closer to hang on Steneker's windscreen. And under pressure for that position, P4. Nice and easy for Steneker. He's really looking after those tyres around that sweeping bend. Gets on the gas, lets it run wide. It looks like visually he is catching, and he's got that gap down now to 0.8. 6/10 through that corner. As you look at the live timing screens, really looking after those tyres. Steneker strategy coming into play towards the back end of the race. We've seen a couple of guys pit for tyres already. But it sounds like Steneker's really nursing, and Pritchard may be struggling on those tyres as well. So this is the gap for P4. And right behind, it looks like Teb and Chandra. We'll go through the field as well. That's Braden Pritchard, Steneker. There's Chandra in the white behind. Then it's Laszlo to Glass. He's in P7. Then it's Troy Jaslowski in P8, all alone in the number 3. Then Matthew Parry, who's pitted. He'll be chasing Troy pretty hard there. You can see the positions gained on the top left hand of your screen. Jaslowski, the biggest mover, up 3 spots. Well done to him. We've got Harrison Tebb also pitting. And then Alexander Mezhkov having an issue at the start. So Vlad. Okay, so Kalef's in the pits already as well on lap 12. So it looks like the whole field will be pitting. It's just a matter of when Bruno coming in. I don't know if he didn't get enough fuel. If we see the car lift up, he's changing tyres, but it looks like it's just a fuel stop for him. That is just fuel, so he's miscalculated the fuel. So that brings Vlad Tokarev out into the lead. But we've got Pritchard and Glass in the pits as well. And Pritchard's coming into for tyres, and Glass sliding into his pit box. Looks like he's coming in for both. So Tokarev, can he stretch this out? Is Stenica in P3? Is he just saving fuel and tyres to last another 5 laps, which is calculates to just here comes Tokarev in the yellow line, and that is okay. So we know that Vlad's going to come in on fuel. And where is Bruno Kalev? Bruno's coming down the back straight. Okay, so let's keep an eye on that. Bruno still in P5, coming around, and Vlad is coming out of the pits. No, he's actually just arriving. So Bruno's coming early. With 5 laps remaining, he's maximising those new tyres, but I think he's on old tyres. And Vlad coming out now. That's the gap there. This is going to be close. Vlad's going to get swept on. Oh, this is a great race now. I don't know what Vlad did, but he's done enough to come out in front of Bruno Kalev. So that is the overcut that we saw. Bruno did come in a lap earlier. And Vlad has come out. Doesn't look like they've changed tyres. Looks like they've just come in for a splash and dash. So this has upset the apple cart towards the front, but they are not in the lead. Hankan Stenica, if he can last another 4 laps out in front, he's going to take the win. From absolutely nowhere has he come through and taken the lead so far. Can he make it last? Vlad's on the charge. There they are. Vlad Tokarev and Bruno Kalev, your championship leaders, chasing down Hankan Stenica. Now we'll see if Scott Flack is in the pit lane. No, he's not in pits yet. Stenica is in the pit, so there he goes, forfeiting the lead with the pit stop. And now it's the 2 battling it out, as we love to see. And I did say this through the qualifier session. These 2 will be racing and giving us quite a show around Watkins Glen. As we're on board with Bruno Kalev, championship leader, chasing down Vlad Tokarev, currently P2 in the championship. Oh, closes, but overshoots it. He can't afford to do that with 3 laps to go. Oh, Czeslowski in the lane now for his fuel and tyres. Teb should collect that position. So Bruno giving some valuable space to Vlad, and he'll say, I'll take that, thank you very much. I'm going to need that for the next 3 laps, because Bruno's been very hot tonight, even though, well, Bruno's fastest lap of the race is a 105.9, and that is the fastest lap out of anybody. The closest is Vlad, who's just in front of him, as you can see. Love this section up the hill now, just sweeping right, left, right. Gets the draft, and it's very advantageous here in the stock cars, especially at Watkins Glen. You can see Vlad just keeping tight, not to let Bruno run wide and get maximum top speed. Bruno's just trying to hold it. Vlad very strong through that section. Look at the amount of time he's gained just through the bus stop. Oh, Bruno going tight and on the gas, letting it run wide. He's got to come back on the track before the white line, which he does do. You'll notice the track limits turn white or yellow or orange. If they're orange, they can be crossed like this section here, but you've got to come back in before the white line. Oh, Vlad very nervous into turn 1, giving away a lot of time to Bruno, but look at the exit there. And that looks like Harrison Tebb in the wall. We'll see if that's Tebb or not. Yes, that was Tebb facing the wall there. Probably overshot it, went straight into the inside We'll go back to the battle out front because this is where the action is. Look at that. Not much in it at all. Coming out of the chicane now around the sweeping left-hand turn. It's all about when you can put the gas on without burning your fronts. Just letting that car run wide over the concrete offshoot. Oh, I shouldn't call it concrete, it's bitumen. Just like that section there. The runoff. Oh. Look how close to the wall they get. Bruno Kalev matching paint colours to the wall there. No gap between the car and the paint of the Armco. Bruno's point of view, trying to chase down Vlad. Nothing but pink in front of his windscreen. Oh! Vlad crossing up on the entry to the bus stop. Oh, can he go right round? No, Bruno should have continued that momentum round the outside. Now it's a drag race. What a great race this is for the lead. The closest battle on the track so far. Stanica remains in P3. Flack 8 seconds back in P4. Oh, Bruno on the inside. They've come together. Bruno's touch. Oh. How he held that, I do not know. But they've come together. And that's the checkered flag. That was the last lap. It's almost a Marcus Ambrose moment a few years ago. And that's Stanica crossing the line in P3. Congrats to him. Here comes Scott Flack to collect P4. Scrape the wall, and there's dust in front of him. That might be from then Matthew Parry. There he goes across the line. Where is Eric Chandler? He's holding off Braden Pritchard. This is the race for the leader. I think it's a three-way battle. It is. As Chandler, Pritchard, and Taglas from Hungary crossing the line there in 6, 7, and 8. And then it's Harrison Tebb, who's already crossed the line and retired in the pits. And Mezhkov as well, finishing P11. Okay, Troy Kozlowski already doing donuts in his victory lap, finishing in the top 10. Okay. So, race results for race 1. An exciting race already. And Vlad Tokarev taking that one ahead of Bruno Kalev. Then it was Hank Jan Stanica with a great strategy there. Finishing in front of Scott Flack and Matthew Parry in 5. Eric Chandra holding off 6 with Pritchard right behind him. And Laszlo Taglas. And then it was Harrison Tebb who had a couple of incidents there. Troy Kozlowski and then Alexander Mezhkov finishing in P11. All right, you know what time it is. It's commercial time. We'll throw it all commercial break. Set up race 2, and we'll be back right after this break. Stay tuned.
There is nothing like the mountain, the speed, the history, and most importantly, the sound. It's part of the Bathurst 1000, and now it's part of your whiskey too. Aged to perfection with the sweet sounds of a roaring V8 pumping through each oak barrel. Like a perfect lap of the mountain, each sip will leave you wanting more. For the second year, Ned Australian Whiskey brings you the 2022 limited edition Sounds of Bathurst Whiskey. And this year, Ned have taken it up a gear. The boldest drink for the greatest race in Australia.
Okay, welcome back, race 2. You know what to do. These guys are just going to be gridding up, ready for race 2. When they roll off, we'll introduce the grid as it is reverse quali. Very exciting finish to race 1. We're looking forward to race 2 here. Troy Cieslawski ready to receive the pace car and follow the pace car. There they go. So the starting grid for race 2. No, that's not the starting grid. It's Troy Cieslawski, Alexander Mezhkov, then it'll be Laszlo Teglas and Harrison Tebb, P4, Eric Chantry in P5, Matthew Parry, P6, very good race for him in race 1. Hang on, Stanica, great strategy, finishing in P3, Alexander Mezhkov. Then it was Vlad Tokarev or Scott Flack, I should say, then Vlad Tokarev and Bruno Kolev. Okay, grid is set. The boys are rolling around, chasing the pace car. The other boys need to catch up. All right, so they're bunching up now. Waiting for that pace car to go. Lights are out on the pace car. He'll come in to the pit lane. Then it's the boys up front determining when to start. Laszlo Teglas holding back, trying to get a faster run. He's going to get overtaken a lot quicker as he's muscled into the inside. Chandra muscled to the outside. That was inevitable there. Laszlo right round the outside. Cieslawski out in front. Freeway down the back, and hang on, Stanika's just clipped to glass there. We watched the back at to glass. He tries to get back on track, and then Stanek is in there 3 wide, and Teglas just comes back in and takes them both out. And he's back, and it's all over. Bruno Kolev already out in front. Mezhkov, Scott Flack. Scott Flack trying to take down Mezhkov now. He's patiently behind, but he's got to get through. Up the inside, my guess. There he goes. He's started wide. Oh, Mezhkov trying to protect that inside line. I think Mezhkov letting him go, but that's a teammate of Bruno Kolev out in front. Oh, Mezhkov coming in. Does he get punted off? No, he's kept it on. Scott Black trying to join in as well. Look at this. 4 cars up the hill. Just got to stay on the gas, put it down, and get the draft. Watch Vlad come up the inside of Alexander Mezhkov. Maybe not. He's just going to wait. It's a long race, 22 laps. You don't want to stuff it up in the first 2. It's not worth it. Judging from the first race, it looks like these guys are going to be pitting at least once for a 22-lap race. Vlad just avoiding the cones there. Matthew Parry there in the mix as well. Scott Black getting the job done. Mezhkov down into P4 at the moment, as Kolev has stretched that lead to 2.5 seconds out in front. Then it's a 4-way battle for P2. Oh, Vlad right up the backside. Vlad still not convincing. On board with Matthew Parry now, the Kiwi. Trying to chase. Oh, he's backed off and he's going to drift out. Needs to get that line right. Now he's just going to tuck in the draft of Alexander Meshkov, the yellow car in front. Backs off early, just controls it through here. Looking after his tyres. It did him well in the first race. Don't know if it's going to do well for the 22-lap race. Just got to look after those fronts, trying to get that heavy car to turn in. Get on the gas, get that downhill run down the back straight. Not much advantage on Meshkov at the moment. Can he get it under brakes? Yes, he's a lot tighter there. Gets on the gas, being able to control the car a lot earlier. Gets tucked into the camber, just runs it. He's gaining on Meshkov now down over the start-finish line for lap 4 of 22. Just bringing that initial turn in, then opens it up. Uphill run. He's not going to get around the outside. He's going to try. It's not going to happen on this run. But he needs to tuck in as close as he can. Get that draft and pull out just before the bus stop. You see the two cars in front. That is Vlad Tokarev and Harrison Tebb. That's Matthew Parry, the front of. That's how close he is. You're watching him come up close on this turn. On the exit. Yeah, Parry's just got a beautiful run there. Up the inside. Takes a position from Meshkov in the P5. Matthew Parry from New Zealand, but he's run super wide there. Can he get back on just ahead? Yes, he has. And that's a safe re-entry. So, up the front, it's Bruno Kalev out in front, coming to the bus stop chicane. And then it's Scott Flack and Vlad. Absolute pink bullet trying to chase down Scott Flack here. This is for P2. And Harrison Tebb doing his best to stay with him. Had a bit of a shocker in race 1, but he's absolutely flying in race 2. Up in P4 already. He doesn't want to relinquish. And Meshkov, or Parry getting past Meshkov. So it looks like this battle's still going on. Oh, Meshkov just coasting into that corner. Could be fuel saving here. Just one gear in there. Missed the apex. And missed that advantage. Stenica recovering back up into P7. Chandra down into P9. And to Glass further down. We saw Chandra get bumped off earlier on in the race. Uphill climb. Love this section. Just got to keep that tight line. Too far one way and it's all over Red Rover. Oh, close through the bus stop chicane. Parry taking a night at Sinisi, and Meshkov wants to go harder. But there's not much you can do. Scott Flack coming under fire now. Got Tokarev on the inside. Can he get the crossover done? Look at that front end just turning in, but he's lost a lot of speed there. He's got to do it with the trail braking, get that trail braking done right. So it looks like we've got Meshkov under fire from Stenica now. The Dutchman chasing hard. Alexander Meshkov, and he's got the job done too. Just see where that happens. So this is Stenica coming into turn 1, chasing down his teammate Alexander Meshkov from Pro Mixed Flame. And Stenica giving that position, that was too easy. Giving it back to the teammate now. Alright, so they're starting to stretch out now. It's Kalev out in front. He's got a back marker there with Troy Jaslowski. Whenever Troy sees a blue flag, he definitely gives way to his own detriment, as we saw him just scrape the wall there. And then it's Vlad Tokarev who's got the job on Scott Flack in P2. Oh, Jaslowski power sliding all the way through that section just below there. Don't know if you guys caught that. And then Scott Flack in P3 at the moment. Harrison Tebb in a solid job in P4, and that's Matthew Parry chasing behind as well, with Hank Young Steneker right behind him. Back up front now, it's Bruno Kalev. Nice and easy around here, smooth as silk through turn one. That's how you get it done, and that's why he's 5.5 seconds out in front of the rest of the field. Absolutely flying through here. Going around the bend now. Oh, a bit rough through that section, but he's keeping that momentum going. He is the fastest driver out there with a 1:05.9. And here he comes down into turn one. See the gap to Vlad Tokarev behind. That is a gap of 5.5 seconds still. This is Scott Flack coming down in P3. And that's Matthew Parry. Hang on, Steneker. This will be a good battle in a couple of laps' time. Both lapping in the 10... Oh, Parry in the 108s. Steneker 1:07.8. And here comes Laszlo to Glass, and Harrison Tebb. It's dropped right back now. So I'll go to the battle between Hang on Steneker, because this will tighten up real soon. And this is Parry defending P4 at the moment from New Zealand. Running wide, Steneker trying to keep that momentum, but he doesn't get it pulled up. Oh, nice and tight through that corner. He's not using all the track, which he probably should if he wants to gain on Parry. This is the close-up from the bonnet of Steneker here. Parry running wide. Still maintaining that gap. But he's not going to be in good track position to take this section fast. Oh, just misses the wall there. Steneker on the exit. Uphill run now. Hard braking into the bus stop. Down to second gear in the center. Just got to balance the car. Look after those tyres. Nothing too heroic. Look how tight he's taking this turn. He knows he can get on the gas nice and early. The gap just half a second. Down a couple of gears. Gets into the camber of that corner. Now it's the cambered right-hander. It's a straight run over the start-finish line. Lap 12 of 22, over halfway, and Kalev and Flack are in the pits. So that means these two have moved up into P2 and 3, and that is the halfway mark. That's the most sensible time to come in and pit. Tyre-wise, we'll see if they're actually replacing tyres. As Scott Flack just leaving pit lane now. There goes Eric Chandra. And Kalev came out already. He's rejoining P5. But everyone in front, he knows, will have to pit. What's going to be Tokarev's strategy? Is he going to try and... He got the overcut on Bruno in race 1. Is he going to extend that overcut for race 2? Tokarev's last lap was a 106.8. So he's still lapping quite decent, even with the oldish tyres. There's probably no need to come in on tyres alone. It's definitely going to be the fuel with 10 laps remaining. You really want to maximise the amount of laps you do on the second set. And there is Tokarev coming in the pits. And that is Parry coming in the pits as well. And Harrison Tebb. So Tokarev leaving. It looks like he's going to lose a spot. I'm looking for where Flack is. And there he comes. Flack just coming through turn 1. So Steneker once again taking the lead with a late pit stop. His strategy came from the back of the field, finished in P3. Very solid effort for race 1. Who else is in? Chandra's in. Just getting the sparks flying as the car dips down on exit. So Chandra rejoining in P8, trying to maximise or get any advantage from that early incident, being bumped off on turn 1. Not even turn 1, just before turn 1. Got sent into the grass. On fresh tyres, he is flying through that bus stop there. Now Steneker and Meshkov into the pits. So Steneker is in, he's coming back out now. Going to rejoin in 4. Scott Flack going through already. That looks like Troy Cisłowski just rejoining the circuit. And Harrison Tebb. That wasn't Harrison Tebb. So that was Troy Cisłowski, I think. And it could be Steneker in front. Anyway, as after the pit stops, Kalev with a 9-second advantage ahead of Flack, ahead of Tokarev, and then it's a further 6 seconds back to Flack and Steneker back in P4. Across the line, fastest lap went to Vlad Tokarev just on that lap alone. He's smashing a 105.9. 3-1, just clipsing Bruno's 105.96. Nothing in it. And to Glass retiring from the race already. Bruno using all of the track, maximising top speed as he crosses the line on a 106.4. Then it's Vlad Tokarev. Further 8 seconds, 8.5 seconds. So he's closing on Bruno, but there's not enough. And Stenica back in the pits. Did he receive a penalty in that pit stop? That's going to cost him a lot for this next race, because his battles out there is with Scott Flack, who is currently in P3. Stenik, oh, Meshkov just spins it. We just caught the end of that one. Oh, both of them. So let's check that one out. So Meshkov coming across the start-finish line. Cieslawski trying to give way. Troy Cieslawski just taking out Meshkov. Unfortunately, he didn't stay out of the way enough. And Meshkov currently in P7 as Harrison Tebb moves up a spot due to that incident. Okay, so we haven't seen much of Scott Flack out there. He's currently in P3. Last lap was a 1:07.1. Almost a second slower than Vlad Tokarev in P2. And Tokarev, look at those times coming down. That gap is 7.5 seconds now with 5 seconds to go. Is that going to be enough to the end? I do not think so. These guys are all spread out around the circuit. Cieslawski back in the lane now. What is this for? Probably that earlier incident with Meshkov damaging the vehicle. Hopefully he doesn't have to repair the car. He's coming in for a pit stop. Will we see them jack up for tyres? He's missed his spot. Yes, he's taking the inside set. Is he going to take the outside set as well? Yes, he is. So he's in for tyres pretty late in the game with only 4 laps to go. That is Harrison Tebb coming through now in P1. Oh, sliding his way into turn 1. Thankfully, just getting past Cieslawski on the exit of pit lane there. Chandra still battling to get up the field, currently in P8. But that gap is closed a hell of a lot. Only 2.5 seconds away from Meshkov. The rest is just a parade as we go around the circuit. Oh, that's a bit of a spin from Harrison Tebb. So this is Tebb coming up the straight now into the bus stop. We'll watch him come in. Oh, just getting loose on that second. And then watch this. Everyone compress at the end. Cieslawski going straight ahead. Meshkov getting through. Chandra getting through. And Tebb rejoining, losing about 3 spots there. So Meshkov now back up into P6 with Chandra up into P7. Oh, look at Chandra just drifting through turn 1. So too Harrison Tebb. Only 3 laps to go and it's still Kalev out in front. That gap is only 5.9 seconds. Was 7.5 before. On board with Eric Chandra from HM Engineering into the bus stop chicane. Oh, Chandra taking that nice and cleanly there. That's why he's gaining on Meshkov. This is battle for P6. And Tebb, if he collects his thoughts together, he could get on the back of this. But there's only 2 laps to go in the end of the race. Meshkov still doing well to hold off Chandra at the moment. So let's give credit to the leader at the moment. It is Bruno Kalev all out by himself. Fastest lap of the race tonight is a 105.960. Then it is Vlad Tokarev further back. That's the gap. It is coming down, but won't be enough laps in the race to get that position. Scott Flack in P3 out by himself. He's got no one in front or behind. That is Matthew Parry from New Zealand. Another strong finish from him. Even better than race one. He'll be finishing in P4 if he remains in that position. Stenica unfortunately had to visit the lane twice now. And he's just spun as well. So let's check that one out. What happened there? So Stenica's come around the bottom, up the hill, into the bus stop chicane. He's taken a few casualties so far tonight. Is it the same as Teb? Yes, he's locked up on the in and he couldn't get that caught back around. And he is regrouped now to sit in P5 ahead of Alexander Meshkov, who is now defending hard against Eric Chandra, getting closer now. This is a live battle for P6 now. Alexander Meshkov in the yellow mobile in front and on board with Eric Chandra, HM Engineering. Last lap and Bruno Kalev bringing us round. And this is the finish of the race. Checkered flag for Bruno Kalev. Congratulations to him. Vlad Tokarev finishing in P2. Scott Flack coming round. Couple of corners to go. Coming to the penultimate corner. Beautiful cambered turn there. Get on the gas. Go out to the wall. And it's a sprint race across start finish line. Matthew Parry further back now. And if you like what you see, make sure you hit that like and subscribe and that notification bell on the YouTube channel. Make sure you get notifications from our next race. And this is Matthew Parry from New Zealand crossing the line to take P4. Then it's Stenica right behind him taking P5. And Chandra, it's a battle. Oh, Meshkov just losing it. It's a drag race. And Chandra getting the goods on the line ahead of Meshkov. Then Harris Teb in the pits. So too Jaslowski and Glass retiring early in that one. So we'll bring the results for race 2. It is Bruno Kalev taking race number 2, one each for him and Vlad Tokarev, who finishes in P2. Scott Flack moving up a spot from last race to finish P3. Then it's Matthew Parry, solid P4 ahead of Stenica, who got P5. Eric Chandra collects one position just on that last corner there, and Meshkov conceding a spot to finish in P7. Harrison Teb will be in P8, finishing P8. P9 was Troy Jaslowski and P10 was Laszlo Glass. Okay, so we've got a commercial break. We've got to set it up for race 3. It's the feature race, 35 laps. Stay tuned and we'll see you on the other side. Okay, welcome back. Race 3. We are almost ready to go here. Let's see who's on the grid. Waiting for the pace car to come out. We picked up another driver, Matthew Belton, who might have missed the first 2 races, which he has. Not too sure if that's because of the time zone difference that we've had over since the last race. So Bruno's going to be on pole. He'll choose whether he wants the inside or outside. If we look across, we'll see them. That's Vlad Tokarev waiting for the pace car. Here he comes. And the starting order will be Bruno Kalev on pole, Vlad Tokarev on P2, Scott Flack winning the battle between him and Ango and Stenica, starting in P4. Third row of the grid will be Matthew Parry, then Eric Chandra, Harrison Tebb, then Alexander Meshkov in P8. P9 will be Laszlo to Glass, with Troy Cieslawski next to him from Queensland. And another Queenslander, Matthew Belton, will be starting in P11. Okay, the formalities out of the way now. Let's get busy. Let's get ready for race 3. 35 laps this one. Lights out on the pace car. You can see the pace car just ahead there. Bruno deciding to take the left-hand side for the start of race 3. He chose the inside for race 1, but soon decided probably a smart decision. He's going to start round the outside. Actually, no, he started on the outside in race 1 as well. That's so he can get hit the momentum through turn 1. Pace car coming in to the pit lane now. It's up to Bruno, Vlad, Scott Flack and Stanica. Meshkov still trying to warm the tyres. And there we go. It's a great run down the main straight. Oh, Scott Flack up the back of Bruno. Is he going to give him a push? Great braking from these top group. We're on board with Stanica now, just getting ahead of Matthew Parry, I saw. And it's Chandra and Tebb. And here comes to Glass as well. Watch it in the background. To Glass gets through. Chandra just tucks in behind. And Belton up into P10. Cieslawski down to 11. Stanica come around the top 3. Got a bit of a gap. Then it's Stanica, Parry, Tebb, Laszlo to Glass, Eric Chandra. Scott Flack trying to stay with him now, trying to keep the pace. He knows what he's got to do. 35 laps. Is this going to be a 2 pit stop? We saw the boys pitting early on race 1. That may mean that they need to pit twice. We can see the pace here is absolutely hot at the moment. The front 3 trying to stretch out, get away from the rest of the pack, as we can see Kalev, Tokarev and Flack coming through. We're all bunched up together now. We know what the race pace is like, so strategy is key for race 3. Parry defending hard against Harrison Tebb now. Getting that back sliding out. Teb loving the handling of this car now. Absolutely getting used to it. He has been away for a while, so it is quite foreign for him at the moment. These guys have been racing in these cars all year. I think this is Harrison's first or second run in these cars for the year as well. So doing a great job. To Glass defending hard against Eric Chandra. Will he try and go up the inside? No, it's a Glass taking that line from him. He's going to run wide, rejoin the track, get on the brakes early, and then get that inside run, get on the gas around the outside. Chandra's going to gain here, but will he gain enough to try and fox him up the inside? He shows the nose, but will he make it stick? Oh, the Glass braking a bit earlier, just getting Chandra unawares. And Parry's gone, so too Mezhkov. Must be oil on the track. Let's have a look. What happened to Matthew Parry? Oh, he's just clipped that outside ripple, and watching the background, that's Mezhkov just jumping over the ripple. That's it. They both try and rejoin. Very unfortunate, Matthew Parry. He's had a great night so far. Parry back in P10 now. Steneker up ahead. Scott Flack still with the front three. Or front two, I should say. Still got that to Glass and Chandra battle just in front, or just behind, I should say. But the closest battle on track is for the lead, so we'll go there with Khalef out in front. These guys are absolutely flying up the hill. Great shot as they just drift out towards the outside wall there. Full commitment, full throttle. And it's a full sprint up to the bus stop chicane. Down to second gear, just nursing it through here. Quickly in and just as quick out as well. This is where you can either burn your tyres if you get on the gas too early. Just got to nurse that car around. Chandra to Glass heating up as well. Chandra getting past to Glass, but to Glass not letting him go. Trying to stay with him as much as he can. On board now with Laszlo to Glass from Hungary. Just wants to sit in the draft of Eric Chandra in front. Doesn't want to let him slip away. This will be his only advantage for Eric Chandra to stay close. Well, he enters a bit late there. He's bouncing all over the ripple strip. Can't get the gas down early enough while Chandra just falls away in front. Opening up that gap to just over a second now. Harrison Tebb already in the pits after 6 laps. Maybe that's an early pit stop strategy for Tebb. Oh, yellow in sector 2. Got the battle up front. We shouldn't be here. We should be up the front here. Going to tuck in. Bruno's going to try and break that draft for Vlad. But no, he's just concentrating on his own race. Nice and easy through here. Depending on how much rubber you got left on, depends on how well you can get through there. You try and keep it as straight as possible. You won't put much lateral load on these tyres. overheating them and becoming mush as you try and turn the corner. Still the battle between Kalev and Tokarev. Whoever wins this race will win the round. So the battle is on. Keep an eye on this one. Any other battles going on throughout the race? The timing screen says there's not much. Glass just falling off Chandra at the moment. The battle still continues. Kalev in that bus stop chicane again. Vlad taking it quite shallow there. Bruno taking a bit more pace, stretching on the exit. These guys are absolutely wringing the neck out of these cars. You can see them running over the track limits there. If the track limit's coloured yellow, they can cross it. But they must come in before the white line, which is what Vlad just did then. Oh, almost looked like Bruno was going to hit the wall there, but you can see he had to back off. All right, so Vlad's got a better run on this one. If he gets on the gas, yes, here we go. This will be almost a position change. Very tricky when to change for that final gear through there, because you either let it rev longer just to get through that section, or you risk changing it earlier but losing momentum because it bogs down a bit coming out of those S's. See them crossing over the track limits once again, but that is allowed. As you can see, the track limit line is orange. This is Vlad Tokarev chasing down Bruno Kalev into the bus stop chicane once again. We can see there's time gain through this section. Who's cleaner through here? There's nothing in it. As Bruno squirts it a bit longer into that corner, makes it a double apex instead of a sweeper. Oh, and that's Vlad into the pits now. He's the first one to blink. He's going to do the undercut, lap 11. So it will be a two-stop strategy for Vlad. That is my money. Put it down. Odds-on favourite. So what's Bruno going to do to answer that one? Is he going to make it a two-stopper for him? Is he going to try and stretch it out for 17 laps, saving one full pit stop? Vlad's already shown his cards now because Bruno is out there by himself. And who's coming with him? Steneker's in as well. So we've got the two there now. So Vlad just racing off now. That is tyres, and I'm sure that that's going to be fuel. Revs rising. Off they go. That's Steneker rejoining. He'll be rejoining P7. So coming up the back straight, what's the top speed? 280, 285, 289, just before the braking into the chicane. So Scott Flack up into P2. He's in the lane now. And that's Bruno. So Bruno's come in to cover off Vlad's strategy. Oh, has Scott overshot it? No, he's stopped right on it. So Bruno will be flying off any second now. That's pretty much half of the field in the pits at the moment. So we've also got Matthew Parry coming in. That's Eric Chandra coming in, almost coming together with Chandra on exit. Chandra will be coming out in P5. Harry and Belton still in the pits to Glass up into P7 now. So as they rejoin, it looks like Vlad has gained 2 seconds by pitting that one lap earlier. We can see how much that undercut worked, even though in race 1 we saw him work that overcut. Now that doesn't mean that they did exactly the same pit strategy. It could mean that Vlad took less fuel. But again, this is all about the strategy, how it plays out, how much fuel they take at the start, and maybe they know they've got to pit again, so it could be just a splash and dash for Bruno, who took a bit more fuel in the second sector. Vlad just flying through that section now. Up the hill he goes. Top speed 289, 292. Wow, a few kilometers faster than the previous driver we followed. We see Bruno will close in that gap just on that 2-second mark. We've got Steneker and Flack now. Steneker, definitely the king of the pit stops. But he's got a flying Flacky right behind him. The sun's starting to shade behind some clouds at the moment, but popping back out now as I say that. Commentator's curse on the weather here. Looks like Harrison Tear bringing up a fair bit of dirt on the inside there. Is that Czeslowski? My money's on Czeslowski, the number 3. Bringing up dirt everywhere, trying to stay out of people's way. On board with Scott Flack, chasing down Hang-On Steneker from the Netherlands. That gap stretching out just a little. Parry and Belton have been finding each other on track as well. Now Parry down in P8. He's had a 5th and a 4th. Now he's back in P8. He'll want to move up a couple of spots through here. Harrison Tebb improving up into P7. And the biggest improver throughout the night has been Laszlo to Glass up into P6 at the moment. Great job from him, just holding out P6. To Glass, the Hungarian, fastest lap of the race so far, a 107.855, and he's pretty consistent because that last lap was a 107.864. That's Harrison Tebb right behind him. We can see chasing down, that's Parry behind them as well. And that's Belton as well, P9. So P6, 7, 8, 9, all equal on the back straight. Tokarev defending a 1.5 second gap now. Bruno absolutely smashing it in this second stanza. Right, Vlad still defending hard. That gap coming down. We've got Steneker and Flack back together again. Very close, just half a second separates them as they come down. On board with Scott Flack now, chasing Steneker out in front. This is for P3, the battle, closest battle on track at the moment. So that's Steneker in P3, Scott Flack in P4. We'll go through the field now. We know Vlad Tokarev's still defending, and that gap's closing. Look at that timing. We'll come back to that in a second as we go to Eric Chandra in P5. And it's Laszlo to Glass further back in P6. Matthew Parry, where is he? He's coming up my favourite section of the circuit. And Matthew Belton, second race with us tonight, missing the first two races. He's in P8. Then it's Harrison Tebb in 9. Coming out of the pits once again. He came in earlier, so he's losing a lot of time here. It's all about tyre management. Then Troy Cieslawski in P10. Looks like Cieslawski into Glass. Zlaski behaving the blue flags there, letting to Glass go. And there's Matthew Parry right behind as well. All right, so we'll go back to the front now. Vlad Tokarev just stretching out that advantage ever so slightly. It is back up over the 1 second mark. Tokarev just running wide there, so too Kalev. You can see him chasing hard. That gap stretching out now as to Glass in the pits. And what's he doing in there? Hits his markers pretty quickly. The tyres are jacked up straight away, so he's hit his marks pretty quick, pretty accurately. And the lefts are going up pretty quickly as well. So this is going to be a quick stop for Glass. This could be his last pit stop before the end. He should be able to make 13 laps on this. Depends if he dumped enough fuel in towards for the end. We can see Glass just giving way to the leaders, Kalev. While doing so, he's forfeited his gap to Eric Chandra. But Chandra falling back into play. And now this is a four-way battle for P5. Chandra in P5 to Glass 6. Belton in 7. And that's Parry in 8. So this is a four-way battle. Oh, this is all for position. Parry trying to go right round the outside as Belton just clips to Glass once again. So it's back down to a three-way battle. We've got to Glass, Belton, and this is Parry. Oh, Belton literally Belton out to Glass out of the way. Belton by name, Belton by nature. Off he goes, and that is Harrison Tebb, just right round the outside in P9. And we've got a yellow in Sector 2. Alright, we're down to a two-way battle for P6 now, and Tebb is retiring from the race. He's pulled out early with 2 laps to go. Oh, it's all going on. Tokarev is 5 and almost 6 seconds ahead of Kalev, so that's a no-brainer at the moment, but this is the closest battle. Oh, just clipping the wall there as we cut to Matthew Parry. Oh, jabbing on the brakes. Belton back in the mix now. He's got the 2 cars in front. What's he going to do? Goes in hard. There's 2 laps to go between these two. Oh, he's clipped the grass. Gonna clip that wall too. No, he's saved it off the wall. Oh, penalty for Czeslowski. Don't know if that's for exceeding track limits. Nothing in between these two. It looks like Matthew Belton is behind as well. Oh, Belton just lost the rear end and lost a bit of time there. But Parry moving in now. This is the white flag. Last lap for these guys. Harry getting through nice and wide. Oh. Oh, just clipping the wall there, Belton. Oh, very hot into the chicane there. Gonna have to cut there because we know Vlad's coming around to take the checkered flag. This will be Vlad taking the race win and the round win. Welcome back. He had a couple of races out, but he's back again taking that checkered flag. And it's Bruno coming across in P2. And Stenica getting the job done on Flacky. Going to come home in P3. Not too sure if he's going to take P3 for the round. I think that's still going to go to Scott Flack, as Steneker had a shocker in the second race there. That's Steneker across the line in P3. This is Flack in P4. Congratulations to him. Chandra's already crossed the line, and it looks like the rest of the field's already crossed the line as well. Belton, the only one out there. Everyone else in the pits. So Vlad, where is he? Congratulations to Vlad Tokarev, taking out the round win and race 3. And that's maximum 20 points for him. 17 points for Bruno Kalev in 2. See if he brings it into the lane. Don't know if he's going to do a burnout for us or just park it up. Looks like he's just going to park it up. All right, so race results for race 3. It was Vlad Tokarev on that last pit stop. Fortunately, having a couple of back markers in between him on the exit, balking Bruno from making any inroads to take the race from him. So Vlad taking the round win and the race win. Congratulations to him. And ahead of the Argentinian Bruno Kalev, then Hang-On Steneker, Scott Flack in P4, the lone, not the lone Aussie, but the one flying the flag up the front. And then it was Eric Chandra from Indonesia, then the Kiwi, Matthew Parry, coming home in P6, not a bad effort ahead of Matthew Belton. Laszlo to Glass drops down in P8 towards the end there, but great effort in the middle sector of that race. And then Troy Jaslowski ahead of Harrison Tebb, who retired 2 laps before the end. Okay, so as far as our next event will be, the program does show Charlotte Roval, but we are looking at changing that to, it could be Las Vegas. Let's get a proper oval circuit in there and get some oval racing in. We haven't had some good runs, but Darlington was a very tough track to race on. I think Las Vegas will be much more open and a lot better for the racing for these boys in the ovals. These guys love the ovals over the road circuit. Then it's Talladega on the 27th of November, and then 11th December will be Bell Island. That'll be an exciting race to finish off the season. Okay, if you're a fan of the V8s, make sure you tune in next week, the 23rd of October, and that is the Gold Coast. Great atmosphere up there. And so we're looking forward to getting up there. The server is open. If you want to join us, get on our Discord in the description and follow the links and get into our server and start practicing. You too can join us anytime through the year, so don't be afraid to click on the links in our description or find us at SimHaus Discord channel. Okay, so thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you watching and supporting us. And until then, it's good night.